Alright. You are correct. It does. Once I remember how to stream correctly, I will switch those next time when I turn song requests on and off. Are we sure that we're getting banner info on the 20th, or are we sure that we're going to get a maintenance on the 20th? Okay, so we're getting a maintenance on the 20th. And, yeah, we'll see how I feel. Now, you can't say usually because it did not do it the time before this last one. So it has only done it once. Usually implies a frequency. Alright, so, yep, 4 new skills. Good effing luck. Alright, Final Fantasy VI event. It's coming this week. I should have reviewed this 3 days ago, but I could not because I didn't have any internet as I was moving my place of habitation. So, let's talk about it now. I wish I could turn on a light, but I have a cat in my lap, so I cannot do that. Batao Ronin. Okay. Batao Ronin. 5-star samurai, 4 single target fire physical with 50% chance critical per hit if the user has a retaliate status active. Well, for all of you with Gilgamesh's USB, you finally found something that can... I swear that is the door. How are you not hearing this? Do you just want to stay with me now? I'm okay with this. So yeah, this is good. And thank God. Primary non-elemental orbs. That's awesome, isn't it? And this is, I think, what's going to stand out to most people is Kamai and Getsu. 5-star samurai. These are going to be called something else, I'm sure. 5-star samurai, 2 times single target fire physical, and self-retaliate. It is a 5-star version of retaliate. Finally, I can shatter... I'd probably just sell retaliate. There's no point in shattering for 2-star orbs. And actually get, some damage out of it. And the only time this would be a bad thing is if the boss that you need to tauntaliate or, retaliate for is absorbs fire. But whatever. Small price to pay. So this is a good ability. I will most likely be honing it to R2. Probably R2. I'll think about this one. It'll depend on relics that I get. But it would probably have to do with, a Sid mission scenario. Oh, yeah, that's true. But that doesn't happen for me, so... But good to note, because I know that I'm probably in the minority there. Okay, so moving along, we have carbon copies of the 2 abilities that were released in the Final Fantasy IV event. The only difference is they are dark element instead of water element. So we have a single target that gives you blink and blink stacking, and one ninja ability that has more hits the more stacks of blink that you have. Oh. Um, yeah, so this is actually a good crop of abilities. I mean, this can be good on the right people, but it just so happens that the best user of this is Cyan, who not a lot of people have him on their radar, and I guess for good reason. His stuff appears on the second banner of this event, and the banner itself isn't that great, but honestly, Cyan's USB is legitimately strong, really strong, really strong. Yeah, it's on a banner no one's going to be pulling on, so off to obscurity with you. New characters: Umaro, Combat 5, Monk 5, Shooter 5, Dagger, Hammer, Fist, Throne, Light Bracer, Light Armor, Embracer. Well, thank goodness we're back to level 99 stats. That's fine. That's fine. What do you do? You're a monk? It could be higher than this. I don't like his stats. HP and attack seem low for a monk. Wait a second, 215? I think I just haven't looked at Enliers in a while. I'm losing my faith. I think 215 is actually quite good. But the HP total is low, regardless. Yeah, 215 is high. It's even higher than Cyan and Sabin. It's the highest in Final Fantasy VI. Alright. I guess I effed up there, huh? But yeah, this 6-6. Yeah, I mean, Sabin has 800 more base health, and he's a monk. Okay. Green Cherry Power. Lower chance for attack equals Snowstorm. Whatever. Low chance to change your attack into something else. It has to be one of the stupidest record materials. Whatever. It's not that important. There's so many good record materia in the game. I don't know, PHY. Just flat PHY up. It's a cool record dive. Go-Go, Combat 5, Black Magic 5, White Magic 5. Already kind of weirded out. Dagger Sword, blah, 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 blah. Looks great. 199 attack. And 211 magic. Holy crap. Good hybrid stats. Sorry for the yawn. I know it's contagious. Medium defense and resistance up when equipping helms, whatever. I think there's already one of those. Record dive stinks. PHY 6, Black 6, and WHC 6. So just being a hybrid makes him just not as good as other people who get more damage, you know. There's some people that get 12% through their record dive. Yeah, I know. It's just by being this way, it kind of mimicking has to be something really good to overcome weaknesses and stuff. Alright. Ugh, sorry. God, Legend Spheres, Shadow. Ninja 9%. Fantastic. Stacking slow resist. Fan-friggin-tastic. Shadow has a really good record dive. It's a good question, Paranoid. Look good to me. So Shadow has a good record dive. Cyan, Blind isn't as good because there's so many major resist sources. And Samurai is an ability school damage up, and that stinks too. So, bad record dive. Paralyze resist is good. Support damage up is bad-ish. Because Setzer gets his chase here, and I think, like, his chase becomes a lot of his damage output, I think. Yeah, it doesn't Dragon, but ninjas do a majority of their damage through their abilities. And that's why, that's the same point I'm making here, is that Setzer is going to do a majority of his damage through his abilities. Oh, yeah, good call. Why was I thinking Gogo was Amara? Oh yeah, because I'm exhausted. Yeah, you're right. And Gogo, sword damage up. We're gonna check that because now we're deviating off the little theme that he had going. Is this just sword damage up, or is this physical sword damage up? Physical sword damage up. So he's no longer a mage when it comes to his legend dive. I would like to... I don't know if I want to shake the hand. But I'll give you a thumbs up if you're one of the few people out there that record or legend dives Gogo. So Gogo is a mage until he isn't a mage. Legend Materia. Let's go take a look at it on Enliers. Even though it is proven to be unreliable when it comes to level 99 statistics. Oop. Too far. Who do we got? Shadow Science, Setzer, Gogo. Shadow Science, Setzer, Strago. God, that would be great. No, we have to wait another event for that. Alright, Shadow. 35% chance to dual cast Ninja. Good stuff. And grants attached Dark. That is also good stuff. Yeah. For the same reason that this is good on a lot of other people. That he can start out the fight, use his ninja abilities with attached Dark, so that's cool. And then when he does get his... oh shit. I'd want to life siphon in his USB as soon as I could. So you do lose a little bit of benefit that other people gain. So say Ash, for instance. Now, Ash is not a good example. Nothing's coming to mind. Anyway, somebody that can use abilities and then use a USB that doesn't have attach on it. Golbez. Whatever. Anyway, it's fine because it'll increase the damage output of his USB initial cast by 80%. That's awesome. But other people have it better. Would I prefer anything else? Yeah, probably, because he's definitely going to life siphon in the beginning of the battle. I'd really like something else. I suppose Edge's US or Edge's LMR qualifies there. Anyway, Cyan, 35% chance to dual cast Samurai and Detach Fire. Like, same thing. Except Cyan is much better. Yeah, because you don't want to life siphon into his USB, I don't think. Or if you do, then it's not much better. Hey, it's the same thing. We'll get to his USB when I get to the banners. Setzer. Oh god. Setzer's LM2. So he has a 35% chance to chase. when using or dealing damage with a support ability. Oh, yeah, that's true. He does need both ninja abilities. He's not going to life save. Yeah, so Shadow's good, but then Dark. Yeah, this is just going to be a sloppy preview. I hope everyone gets from it what they can. So, the Sensor has a 30% chance to chase after dealing damage with a support ability, and the chase is very weak. Is 0.25 physical damage. It's just super weak. But it's a try debuff of attack, magic, and mind minus 30%. You did that. You know you did that. Skillet fell off of me. Yeah, triple break, nice in battles where breaks are useful. Unfortunately, basically, the whole contingent of hard content in the game, at least right now, and for most of the future too, because Magicite isn't done. There's going to be, we're at 3-star right now, there's going to be 4 stars, which have just been released in Japan, and they're 5 stars. Where debuffs like this just aren't all that useful. So, it's nice for flair. And you know, who knows? Maybe the 5 stars will have more of those fights. There is one fight in the 4-star group of Magicites right now that takes 40% effectiveness from debuffs. So current bosses, like actual event bosses, take 50%. While Magicite bosses are 20%. But there's one Magicite boss, I believe just one, in the 4-star that we haven't got to yet, that is 40%. So it's not terrible anymore. It actually makes sense to debuff that boss. So maybe they'll follow that trend and bring debuffs back into the game for 5-star. But by that time, that's like a year away. Let's be frank. So we're not thinking about shit like this for a year away. Alright. Strago. 25%. No, not Strago. Who's the last one? Go-Go? We get Go-Go's before Strago? God. Attack and magic plus 2% for each hit dealt with mimic attacks up to 30%. It sucks. So, really, just... If you're gonna... Please, meme it, please, somebody out there. In the great blue yonder. Legend Dive Go-Go. This is an awful Legend Dive for probably an awful character. Just do it. Do it for science. Let's get to the banners. Alright. First banner is the good one. This is where people are going to be pulling if they want to pull on this Final Fantasy. Yeah, please. Please, no regret it for me. Shadow. Starts off the banner. Shadow USB. Kaganui. Is not a shadow weapon. Up to this point, still Sephiroth's BSB2 is the best weapon that Shadow can use with his USB. Sure, Dia, what is it? Can you swap out abilities from one floor to the next? Oh, Crystal Tower. I thought you meant cast time. I don't know. I do not have many answers for you about Crystal Tower. Like, barely any. I think I just know that you assemble one team and then assemble a completely different team, and then assemble a completely different team and work up different parts of the tower. And then out of those teams that you selected, they're the only ones you can use in the final battle. That's it. Okay, so first off, Kagonui. Ugh. Kage Nui. Shadows USB. Large attack, but doesn't have plus dark on it. That's why it gets trumped by Sephiroth's BSB2. Zero cast time. Here's the key. That's why it's so much higher DPS than what the stuff Edge does, along with the fact that Shadow starts the battle off with End Dark. So it does 80% more damage. Or if you have his LMR, which you may not. So 0 cast time, 10 single target, random dark elemental physical damage, and self Shadow Slash. Self Shadow Slash is the exact same thing that Edge has, where he chases with a variable number of attacks, depending on how much physical blink you have, if you use ninja abilities. Except it's dark damage instead of water. It's really, 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 really powerful. So that's a nice way to start off the banner. And second off, we have Final Trump by Setzer. 159 attack. I'm guessing it's a thrown weapon. Random Joker, 10 single target, random range, physical damage, enemy hyper break. Self gamble. Break. So this is weird. I don't want to talk about it, but I have to talk about it because it's just too frigging weird. Gamble Break. Randomly cast one of the following abilities when using damaging support abilities on an enemy. You either use one of these 4 abilities: spades, diamonds, clubs, or heart. It's plural. And they each do essentially the same thing, except one variable. The constant is 2 times single target ranged physical damage, and self quick cast 1 to make your next ability go off quickly. So it's nice when combined with his BSB for that reason. Otherwise, you're just going to burn through support hones that you don't want to burn through. The variable on each out of 4 is power breakdown, magic breakdown, armor breakdown, mental breakdown. That's the difference. So you have a random chance to apply these breaks when you're using support abilities after you use his USB. Kinda neat, kinda impractical. Because you could just go an entire fight without getting the breakdown that you want. It totally fits his character, but personally I don't care for it that much. I think it's a strong... It makes him a more offensive focus, there we go, support character. But I hate the RNG. I'll admit, I just can't stand the RNG of it. Him being able to do all of these on their own, I wish it was like an elimination list at least. So if one went off, at least the random chance happened on the other 3, and so on until you got to the end, and then it reset. That feels like it would be a lot better. It'd be more like a deck of cards that way. That would be more on theme, because once you use the card, you don't shuffle it in immediately. You wait till you're done with the deck. So it's powerful. I mean, I'm not gonna bash it. It's powerful. I just personally don't like it. So there we go. We got our 2 USBs on the banner, and Shadows is definitely more desirable. So moving on to the BSBs, we have Umaro's BSB. 7 times area of effect, ice non-elemental damage, and N-Ice. I remember when I originally took a look at this, I was like, N-Ice? What in the hell are you doing? Because he's a monk, and monks don't have or like something to use with ice, because you know, DNA hates snow as much as we do. But we do get ice monk abilities in the very, very far future. Otherwise, still, it's he's a shooter because he's a Yeti. You can use Icicle Shot with it, and that's fine. But let's continue on to the commands, because we're... That's the reason why you use this BSB. It's for his first command, where he gives a medium max HP heal, which I believe is 40%. That would be big. It's got to be 25%. Why did 40% be the first thing that came to my mind? It's 40%. That's pretty good. That's why 40% came to my mind. It's pretty good. Otherwise, let's talk about the second command first, because the first command has applications. 3 single target, ice, non-elemental, physical, and self hailstorm. This is a fairly decent ability to use single target using the N-Ice. So he doesn't need an Ice Monk ability or Icicle Shot. But they probably would be better than this eventually, once we get the ability buff, since this is 3 times and those are 4 times. But using it once for the Hailstorm is totally worth. But the first command is kind of one of those sleeper hits. It's instant for the one that he heals. So you could really enable somebody by just giving them instant cast every turn, and making sure that they never die as well. Think about the applications for that, like Squall's BSB2. Yeah, I mentioned that, Shadow. Yeah, it is good for speed running. Because there are going to be people, oh god, like this in the hands of just anyone being able to use their chase or their USB more times. Getting this one relic just seems like a focused version of Raijin. You know, Raijin gives instant cast to the entire party. Gives them high regen and, you know, survivability things like high regen and last stand. This just focuses it on one person, which it definitely fits with the theme of Banshee dungeons, because we stack characters and it's turned out to be really effective, you know. So if you just have one person entrusting to somebody and one person, Umaro, instant casting somebody, they can just turn into a deity. So that's a pretty cool BSB. Next up, we have the complementary BSB for Shadow. It goes with his USB. Just 1 second. Okay. Yeah, Shadow's BSB is there for his USB. It's to give him Endark. If you have his LMR, you use his USB and then his BSB. If you do not have his LMR, then you use his BSB, then his USB. Because you want every second that you have his USB active to have Endark. That's all. And next up we have Setzer's good support BSB. Highly debuff focused, but good with his USB. And if you're okay with investing in stat debuffing, then it's one of the best. Or probably is the best. His USB and BSB together. It's as good as it gets. Just, I guess I'm moving in a different direction. LMRs, we have Shadow, Assassin Living in Darkness. Start battle with Endark. I explained why and when this is useful, and how to use it. Setzer's Coke. Small increase in duration of stat debuffs cast by self. This is pretty awesome for him. I don't know. I guess I don't care. I hope she spends it all. Let's put it that way. So this is good. Again, USB, BSB together. Umaru. Super Silverbrick section. We're still on this banner format with the 2 USBs and 4 supers. Can't pull on any of this. Not anymore. It's too late. 30th anniversary here, and then the switch to banner format is like gonna be imminent. I don't even know, but it's very, very soon. Okay, Super Silverbright Green Cherry, self-defense minus 50%, attack plus 150%, and enter Green Cherry mode for 3 turns. What's Green Cherry mode? Randomly use one of the following each turn. Oh. Well, this stinks. I was kind of interested in the advanced type buff, but since you actually just lose control of Umaru when you put him in Green Cherry mode. It's a miss. What's the scarf at least? Fire resistance. It's a miss. Shadow's Ichigeki. God, this thing's so old. This thing's so old. 0 cast time, 8 times, single target physical damage, and self blink 2 is actually really good for a super. But come on, it's just too old. Ugh. Why do you have to say nap time, Gutsy? Taunting me. Ichigeki was the most powerful soul break in the game at one point. Yeah, it was so good. Alright, Shinigami card, Setzer. Red card. It's full breakdown, right? It's a Sid mission item, so you can use full breakdown with your soul break. And bring 2 breakdowns instead of full break and a breakdown. Instant KO. Yeah, low chance instant KO on hit. Score. Yeah, I just give 0 crap about this, and here's the real issue with the banner is this. This is 7% worth of relics. This is 6% worth of relics. Just to put that into perspective. The stuff you want, 7. The stuff you don't want, 6. And fixed dice, which is actually not bad at all, because that's a stacking attack and resistance debuff. So, I'm not going to say that has anything on the stuff at this above this point on the banner, but it's still better than any of these supers. It sucks that it is the 1%, while the other chaff are 2. So I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, I agree. It's actually good. Well, I don't use it because I don't use Setzer. This banner is a trap. That's what I think. Got the La Brea tar pits down here. And I think that a lot of that is my feeling that this part of the banner isn't good enough to make up for this. And it's because of Setzer. It's a trap! The problem is the banner format. If it was a better format, if it had 3 USBs, more BSBs, and 2 Super Soul Breaks instead of 4, it'd be better. But that banner format is coming. It is not here yet, and I really just think with 30th Anniversary Festival here, you know, in a week. Think about that, in a week. We're going to be pulling on Luckies and analyzing banners that have at worst BSBs on them. It's just, I have to say that it may have not been a trap for Japan, but I think this banner's a trap for global. Yes, Terra, because they cover different elements. Bart's BSB2 is water, while Bart's BSB3 is earth. It's, you know, fitting with Bart's theme in that he can be an awesome character for many different elements. Alright, so taking a look at the second banner, I mentioned it briefly before because of Cyan. But Cyan's USB, which I said was good, 8 single target, fire and elemental, physical damage, and fire, and self-high retaliate and high critical. And now, if you remember the samurai ability that we took a look at, just consider it in this perspective. High retaliate and high critical. 4 times single target fire. Remember, we get end fire as well, with 50% chance to critical hit if the user is retaliating. They could not have made this ability more suited to Cyan's USB, and he can actually deal a ton of damage with it. Is that the same status that Gilgamesh's USB gets? I believe so. And why Cyan, oh man, is a better character than Gilgamesh is because Cyan actually gets end fire and does fire damage on his USB, while Gilgamesh is limited by the fact that he's non-elemental. And there are no abilities that synergize with his USB like there are with Cyan's. When's the banner change again? Since I did mention it so heavily, let's go look. It wouldn't surprise me at all if it were the Final Fantasy VII event. It's a Dissidia banner. Nope, that's still 2. Final Fantasy 2? No. 15? No. Yep. It is Final Fantasy VII. I had this ETA'd for November 9th. So it'll be about a month after the festival ends, where we'll be moving to the new banner format. So anyway, Science USB is actually really good. It combos very well and will do a ton of damage with a 5-star ability. And Realms USB has been released, and we know that that is really good. It does a lot of things right. And it's because of the power chain, or instacast to party coming from a healer. It's great for match site speed clearing. It's just an immensely powerful USB, one of the best healer USBs in the game. Yeah, Solus. That is what that event should be known for, is the Shulk Legend Dive release. Okay, so we have Go-Go, the best Legend Dive in the world, who does 8 times single target physical or non-elemental magic based on a higher number of attacker magic. And yeah, it's fine that she doesn't have Wrath. Wrath is more for drawn out stuff. Hi. Do you need help? I saw the announcement. Let me know if you need help with that, because I probably could. No, I'm really good. Okay. Did you get the bug, at least? Oh. Oh, no. Yeah, you're fucked. Do you, like... Yeah, he did kill it. How going after an insect? How going after an insect do you just say, "Oh shit, well the computer's there. I'm gonna annihilate it and the bug with it." Alright. No, I will help you with that. I'm almost done, like, going over this list. And once I'm done that, I will talk to you about... Now, if you use the monitor to smash the bug, then that's something worthy of respect. It takes a set to do that. Oh, man. No, I have to hear the entire story. Welcome back, Helson. Gow. Is that where we were? No, we're on Go-Go. I'm sorry. Like, I'm gonna be uploading this to YouTube. Okay, we're on Go-Go. We have a hybrid buff. And burst mode. What's the burst mode do? Mimic previous ally action with short cast time. 4 single target physical non-elemental damage based on higher of attack and magic. So it's just a bad Onion Knight. Oh. Alright. Oh, man. The problem with the mimicking in this game is you can't mimic burst commands. You can only mimic abilities. And there aren't really that many abilities in the game that you spam just straight up without anyone in the entire like rest of the group using any abilities to overwrite your mimic. It's just it's a shitty gimmick. I'm sure you could have some fun with it. Yeah. It would have to be Omega Drive though. Yeah, but you never spam full charge unless you're playing Orlando how you're not supposed to play him. Who spams full charge? It's just for fun. Yeah. I'm going to carry on from there. Gao's BSB, a single target physical, self-attack, a plus 30%, and defense minus 30%, quick cast 3, and burst mode. Unfortunately, Gao's burst mode is also for fun. Yeah, Armorger mode. That's true. If you're lucky and you don't get hit. So he just goes into a berserk and uses some poor abilities every turn. Flame range. Enter fire rage mode for 3 turns. In fire rage mode, randomly cast one of the following each turn. 3 times area of effect fire, 2 times or 3 times single target fire, or 1 time single target fire at random. He just goes into a berserk for 3 turns. It's true. It's true to Gao. It is what he does. It's just not good at all. So, you know, it's like Go-Go. Science BSB is, it's okay. Party critical 50% and self-retaliate is actually not bad at all. The self-retaliate, not so much. I think it was his commands that I was happy with, right? What's on his commands? 1 time single target and HP drain 20%, eh. 4 times single target and dark bargain. Yeah, it's not that good. It's not elemental. I like where they went with the turning him into a fire samurai. Like, his USB is good. His BSB doesn't make any sense with it. So, just skip this shit. So all the BSBs here suck. Signs, Legend Materia, start battle with a fire. That sounds great. That also sounds like something that if I got Science BSB and his LMR, all of a sudden I have a useless LMR. It's not useless, actually. Remember the ability. 50% chance critical per hit if user is retaliating. I think that's different. I think it's a little different than what is noted there. I think it's a plus 50%, isn't it? It is. That's a plus 50% chance to critical if you have retaliate or high retaliate. Remember, this is why Science USB is so good. So that means that if you use that 5-star samurai ability with this, will have a 100% chance crit rate. So that's not awful. Give yourself the dark bargain and then just go nuts, I guess. The problem is you're just going to be dealing naked fire damage. There's no real benefit to him doing this. Unless you've got his LMR. So I guess getting his LMR and his BSB together isn't that terrible. But it's still not good. It's not really all that effective. We still only have 2 good relics on this banner. Next LMR is Go-Go. Medium chance to self quick cast 1 when using Mimic. Is that 30%? 35% to quick cast 1 when using a Mimic. This banner is a meme. Go-Go. Super. 8 times, or 7 times area effect, physical or non-elemental, whatever. And party medium, so party 40% max HP heal and Asuna. That's alright. That would be a good complimentary Super Soul Break if Go-Go was any good. But as is, it's a good, decent Sid mission relic. Gao's Shiny Thing, which is the strongest relic in the entire game, is a 3 times area effect, range physical damage, and enter Meteor Rage for 3 turns. Meteor Rage, he does a 2 times area effect physical damage, long cast time every turn. That's oh man. Oh my head. This banner. This banner may be the worst banner I've ever seen. Gaia Bell. I've got 3 of them. They must be good if I pulled that hard for them, right? So even though Mog doesn't feature on this banner at all, his super appears here, which is a mind-based Earth Bell, which would be neat if there were anyone in the game that could use a mind-based Earth Bell other than Mog. I don't think there's any mind-based Earth damage in the game other than this ability, because 68 magic is not going to benefit the instrument using mages that can actually deal Earth damage. Jeez, my goodness. I have an 8-star one, Adia, because I'm smart, and I reforged, or not reforged. Oh yeah, it is reforged. I reforged it. And Sabin's Armlet. Whoa, another 40% max HP to party with the Suna. Oh, you're running out of ideas, folks? Pull on this banner. Pull on it like your life depends on it. It's the best. It's the best I've ever seen. It's the best there ever was, and it's the best there ever will be. Oh. You're right, missed it did. I mean, how much Mithril do I have? 285. By the time this event launches, I will have 300. 6 pulls. At 6 pulls, I could significantly increase the fighting strength of my Final Fantasy Record Keeper team if I pull on this banner a lot.
Are you drunk? Drunk enough.
Good, Jimbo.
Thanks for the preview and suggestion to put hard on banana.
Happy to be of service.
Going to spend all I got VE got. Wish me luck.
Shop
Sharp
charity.
charity.